pretty much told you guys in a perfect sense what could happen with high probabilities, and I would say that it really did happen in high probabilities. If you guys recall, we said if you do crack this 80, you might go to the 84, 83 level. Then we are aware of the 88 level. We stalled a little bit on 88. If you guys go back, right, we came there. Where was this? Somewhere around here, right here. We came very close. We stalled a little bit, and then they proceeded. And each level that we had identified had a reaction, right? And that's really good to see, not only from my perspective, but for you guys to actually notice that it works. Because if each level triggers a reaction, then you can play each level, right? So you see here, they came back, they swept inside, then they reclaimed that, and every single body here held. They went to the VPOC, and I think every one of you guys had this on your chart on the VPOC for 406. They came in, you got a nice rejection, and they came back. I think where most of you would have gotten, triggered is on this pullback here. Maybe you expected a bounce at 406, but if you drew a profile today on the run up, what did you guys see here? Let me just give you guys an idea what I was watching. So this was 9:30, and if you had this here, was there any reason to slow down here? Guys, they have built nothing there. They really did not cause any volume to be there. This was just a trap for bears, and they basically reacted. And then you see here, and I went short somewhere around here. I forgot what it was. I was pretty high on the short, maybe even somewhere here. I'll have to check. And my exit was all the way here. I was looking to exit here, and I closed it. So I took as I mentioned to you guys, I took the $500. I put it in a trade station, and I almost grew $700 and since Friday. So, and I'm not playing heavy, but I am playing moves like this, right? If I can catch 13, 15, 20 points in a day on that account, that's really good. And there's no reason for me to overtrade that, because if I can grow that, damn mosquito. If I can grow that a little bit by a little bit, let's say 5K by the year end, that's really good, right? So hopefully you guys were able to see this. Did anyone had it this way where you drew it from the bottom to the top and you saw this is pretty much, I would call it triple distribution, right? Oh, I hate this thing. So this is your triple distribution, and we're most likely now, if you look at the path of least resistance, what is it? Say it again.
Down.
Yeah, it's definitely down. Now, I would say if you think about this, whoever set up, sorry, I got the damn mosquito. It's been eating me alive. So if you think about this box right here, right? And if the path of least resistance is up, they have to go through this major volume here to get up. So it's gonna look like this. So this becomes not really tradable. The path of least resistance is pretty much down. As long as you lose this PD value area low here, and let's make sure it's there. So as soon as you lose that, I would even say losing this 89 is really bearish. What they need to establish, what do the long-term buyers need to establish and where? See who's following the picture so far. What's the level we should not crack below?
43.95.
43.95. We're already below that.
43.58.
That's a good level. If we crack that, then we know we're going to have a major pullback. What's your first signal that
43.76.
73. Yeah, that's the level here. If you think about
September
this
value.
if you lose this value here, that means they're not interested in September value area low. They're being rejected, and I'm pretty sure by the time we wake up in the morning, we would have tapped this level here somewhere. We're going to be here tonight. This is the area, even if you look at this on volume profile, if this is, let's say, I call this almost like a E shape for, if you just focus on this, this is one distribution, this is second, and this would be the third distribution. Typically these days are, they don't happen often, but if you look here, as soon as you were rejected on the top, you came to the POC, you were not, welcome here. 2 rejections here on the POC. So where are you most likely to go? Probably going to test the value area low here by the time we are done with the watch list, and then they're going to come here and test. These buyers need to defend, right? So if they fail to defend, which is at the September value area low, your bias goes a little bit bearish, right? And then of course, losing this Friday high, previous week high here would do what? It would be weekly framing down at that moment, meaning that we are losing the weekly. That would mean that we're also losing the daily because we're still framing up higher high, higher high, higher lows. If we are able to lose that, then it changes, right? So you got to look at this level here as a really the most important level on the profile itself. Okay. I did notice that the POC shifted on the 4-month POC. I don't know if you guys have it up. Thought I had it up. Let's see. So for me, it shifted slightly. It shifted like, I think we had it at, I think it was 19.5 or something like that. I can check back, but it shifted down a little bit, just FYI. So that means a lot more volume was, not a big deal, right? But I'm just pointing out that it shifted a little bit. So at this point, if they're able to come here, I really would not be interested in any longs. Let them accumulate their positions below the POC, right? Close to the resistance, and then let them break and give us a retest. The 61.8, the fib that I drew is from, let me give you, so you guys have, it's basically this high right here to this low here. I'm looking for the rejection of this gold, and if they're able to push it up here, that's not a bad short. I'd be interested, but the volume wise, it just does not look like they're really decisive here. So if you look at the volume here, it's pretty weak. There's stepping volume here, but also selling came in, right? So it's not really like giving us a clue at the moment on this volume here, right? And for the bulls, what do you need for them to take out here? If you wanted to go long, what do you have to take out? Would you go long here above POC?
Yes, the 43.95.
Only to
43.95.
get slapped by 43.98 second node?
Oh, no.
Okay, you don't go long here. You really at least need to establish, if you take off this level here, 4404, you have a chance to go higher and hit this POC, which is no longer a VPUG. Ideally, to feel comfortable and not have a shitty price action like we had here, you really need to clear this 4-month POC. Right now, on the long time frames, there's no reason for you to be bullish. The only thing holding you somewhat bullish is what? On a longer time frame. Okay, I'm giving you a clue.
Wow, skinny belly up there.
We're
Maybe
we're above 2023 value area high.
It's the September value area low that's holding you right now in a bullish sentiment. 2023 value area high is not done yet. Right, that level is just still ongoing on development, right? If you have a massive sell-off, the value area high is going to shift down, right?
on a longer time frame, the way I look at it, if they hold it here long enough, eventually that might be a sign for them to have an actual support level here instead of,
Oh, that's the
it's just-
goal, right? They need to create value between this 43.75 and I would say probably between this 44.18. In this range, they need to range now and then get a massive breakout. Otherwise, if they dip below here and then they clear this POC here, then it becomes a little bit of a problem. Okay, so let me move this guy here. Yeah, this looks dumpy right now, doesn't it? They're about, I think, crater to the bottom here. Okay. NQ had a really good rejection as well. I think you hit that epoch. Okay. It hit it to a penny. If you guys remember this level last night when we talked about 66, and then we also had 75 as of epoch on the TPOs. If you guys recall that, we pretty much came there, rejected it. You also have a similar profile here on NQ. So what's the level you need to clean on NQ here? Come on. You
Over
have to,
50,
you
over
have to make your decisions, guys. This is your chance to say something stupid and not be wrong with money.
getting over 15,220 would give you a skinny belly up, but you really need to overtake that July value high, which is the VPOC, which essentially is where we bounced off to continue going.
Yep. And if you regain this POC, you have a high chance, right? To probably run up here. I would say you have a strong chance to run to the top here again, right? You want to see them take out these highs. When they give you a pullback, that's a go long time. Tomorrow, there's a lot of data being released in the morning. If you're willing to gamble money, you can play it. It's better to sit and see what happens and how they react to it. Otherwise, you're just throwing money into a fire pit, right? So I'll definitely watch this, right? If they're reclaiming this POC, that's bullish, right? They have a chance to go higher. If by any chance they lose this PD value area low, they're probably going to come back to around 215 area here. And then eventually this, I would call this probably still a VPOC because they did this, I guess it's POC. They came in at 930 and bounced from there and then continued higher main. They ripped it 200 points casually. And then if you guys haven't, I mean, one thing that I would suggest you guys do here is take this and give them the benefit of doubt and look where we are. I didn't mean to do that. So what do we say about liquidities? I've shared this before you guys before, right? So if you're able to hold this on the upside, if you regain it, most likely you're going to go to this level. If you're not able to hold this, like you're struggling here, most likely you're headed right here at 188 because there's nothing here.
Mm-hmm.
This is your LVN, right? These are your HVNs for newer folks. High volume node, low volume node. You're going to accelerate the same way you did here. And once we look at footprint charts, right, we're going to be aware. What are we looking for here? On imbalance like this. Why would I look at footprints on this?
See where the aggressive buyers may try to show up.
Yeah, exactly. I want to know where the aggression came in. Did aggression come in here? Or did aggression come in here where they already bounced, right? I'm interested to find out where was it? And that's what we're going to look at footprint chart and the reason why we go for those. And now if you think about this, this is our zone that we're targeting for a bounce. Would you go short here?
Yes.
On a break
On a break,
and a
right?
retest.
Exactly. Yeah. Because what's your first instinct here?
Short.
To go long, to bounce.
Dumpsty, come on. This is your goal long, right? You want to look for this to bounce, and you're looking for a bounce here, right? How would you know where to go? Well, I mean, just find this to here and look for 50% at least on it, so you can catch a bounce. I wouldn't know now since I don't have the volume how it's going to be dispersed, right? But this is a skinny belly right now, so they're going to fill it, right? And if they fill it dragging down, then it becomes a pain in the ass to play because they're going to have those quick rejections, pullbacks, quick rejections. Right now, ideally, they dump it, right? And they leave this as an LVN and they don't fill it with volume. But their goal right now, because if you think about structures, right? If this was our, high right here, I'm just roughly making this. If this was the high and this was the range bottom right here, well, wouldn't this be the next range to consolidate before the next imbalance? So don't be surprised, right? If this right here becomes, where is this damn square? If this right here doesn't become, if they lose this, they could definitely bounce here and look at the volume. There's And this becomes, because it's a really fat, high volume node, it becomes a little tricky to find, but you could figure that out, right? Just by looking closely here and find out where's that POC, and you see it somewhere around right at 15K. So I'll definitely watch that level, right? If they lose this, then you know this is the next level to be in play. This is more of an SR here, but I wouldn't trust it just as much because the high, I mean, you could, because if they come in here and they bounce, so that's why I'll leave it there. You know, potentially you can take a contract here, put a stop loss right below it. If you see they're dipping through it, you get out, and then you know where potentially they could be, right? This is last run up. So you know what that is, right? So now you can play this. And this is what I would expect to see here. I think they got to scare a little bit of bulls here. And I think they did a good job today, right? I mean, you go here and you drop what, 100 points? I think a lot of bulls got a little bit, you know, yeah, 127 points drop in probably less than 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So, you know, they probably got a little discouraged. And now if they make a new lower low, they take this out, they're not going to be looking for longs, they're going to be looking for shorts. So I'll be really interested to see what they do, right? Okay, any questions? Thank you, yes. Good. We were asked to look at SPY, so let me do that. I'm just gonna go regular hours. Let's see what is SPY doing. SPY bounced of October POC, which is VPOC at 22. I mean, SPY had to bounce here. They had no choice but to bounce. Yes, the June POC is hitting hard. And if you want to be bullish on ES, I'm sorry, on SPY, you really have to crack this level here, 437. If you're able to crack that, then I think you have a really high chance of hitting about 439, but ultimately this would be your target, right? If you go here, this is where you want to go. This would be your target, about 444 or so, which also happens to be my bearish level. So I would, on SPY, I would look for long swings on puts at 445. I don't know if you guys remember when we were running up, I said if we lose 445, there's a high chance we're going to dip a lot lower on SPY way back, right? When we were up here and we lost at 445. I mean, we lost 20 something points since then. But right now, if this comes in, I'll be looking that they peak above and then, you know, they get more people excited. And then I would go for long puts. I'll probably look for December or even January, like again, 420s or even 400s to match this 411 here, which is our level. Ultimately, we're going to be back to it. Okay. On smaller time frames, let's take a look at it. Okay. Is this a bullish or bearish close?
Bearish.
Bearish.
Why?
Below the POC.
What else do you see?
Tried to establish value above, but it got kicked back down.
Got
And
rejected.
look at the nodes difference between this and this. I would say double the size too, right? So it seems like somebody was interested in really selling, because look at this buying volume here. Beep. As you're going up, your volume is dying, and then you get this massive volume and massive candle here. And then remember, you know, what is there an anomaly here between this and this? Small candle, big volume. Is that an
No.
anomaly?
Yes.
Definitely an anomaly, right? Something to pay attention. There's a lot of volume there, but not enough movement, right? So I would think if they're gonna dump this, you know, making a new low here, if they lose this, 434. We're gonna be much quicker at 432. Probably won't even. You guys won't get to see this if those numbers are somewhat hot from CPI. We won't get to see this play out on SPY at least. Might on futures, but not on SPY. And here's your volume, and look what's telling you. Where are you headed? Right here. You're gonna be headed right here. If you lose this, then, I mean, you see each one of these might offer a bounce, right? So if you're short here, you're trimming at 430, that's $2. I probably wouldn't be interested, playing in here too much until you lose this node here, right? 428, then you're most likely headed right here at 424-ish. So I would treat these as key levels. Losing this, speed up here, lose this. Most likely you're gonna be here, but I would trim if I'm on short data puts somewhere here, right? I mean, $3 here, you probably make decent amount of money in between. And I mean, we're holding for dear life here right now. Look at this. Once you lose this, I mean, think about it. We are 68% of volume is here at 432. So this is just no volume here. High chances you're going to be back here tomorrow morning. And then lose this. Some bouncing, but ultimately you're coming back to this 425.60, I would say. Yes, big POC here, probably September 21st, like what, 20 days? Yep. So I would expect this. If you lose 432, 425.68 happens quick. Okay. All right, I did add some stocks to my long-term portfolio. One of them was here. If you guys looked at this, I posted for you guys. And I mean, we have a high chance of a bounce here, right? And even if it dips to 77, I'll just keep adding this into my portfolio. But right now, the reward is more to the upside than it is to a downside. And that's okay if, I have to add more in this level. I would love it if I can. Tyson Foods, it's another company that I think they will do fairly well. And the POCs here, the high volume nodes somewhere around here that it starts. So they have a little bit more, but I didn't go heavy in this yet. I wouldn't mind getting it closer to 40s here and then look, but I'm pretty sure we might catch a bounce here soon. So, and I think we're starting to a little bit. Okay. And AL. This is the riskiest one of the bunch, I would say. Just because of travel and this whole war in Israel and Palestine, I don't know, how much impact would it have statistically, I'm sorry, not statistically, technically looking at this, to me, it just looks like a pretty good zone for adding here. So if you guys look, we are slightly below it, right? And below the POC, the value area low here is at 11. So, I mean, there's a chance I lose $1 per share here, right? If you bought 200, you lose $200, but I'm okay because this would be a longer hold. I'm looking to double my money. If I can get it back anywhere to 20, I would sell it. I'm not a big, fan of airlines just because the news and shit that happens, but I would definitely look to offload here at 20 or at this volume node here if I can pick up a good 30, 40, 50%. That's fair enough for me. Any questions on any of these? Clorox I didn't get yet, and I really want it, but I didn't get it just yet. I don't know why I hesitated today on Clorox. Do you guys see anything unusual here?
Selling volume dropping off. Really big selling volume dropping off.
Pay attention to this candle here and this volume here. Playing options on this might pay nicely as well. Remember, they were in this consolidation. If you guys go on the monthly here, they're in this range. I don't know if you guys remember when we first started looking at this one. They're in this range for some time, and I missed it. Here we missed it, they popped, and now they came back in, right? They swept below these. They came very close, if you look to this low here. Did they sweep it? They did. This could be a market maker pattern, right? Which is, you know, a spring here and then basically go higher. And I don't mind this company at all in my portfolio. So I'll most likely add some of this tomorrow on Clorox. Nothing big, probably $5,000-$10,000 worth, and you know, see how they do. If I can drive this to 150s or even 180s, man, it's pretty good. $50 a share would be ideal. Even some long data calls here would not be bad, and wouldn't be shocked. Let's see if I wouldn't be shocked if we get some news about Corona here within the next couple of days. Or some kind of virus. Yeah, it looks promising here.
They had some news about a virus. I'm gonna find it and post it in the main chat.
Yeah, this is not looking bad, and this is showing some buying pressure on exhaustion. Actually, I'm gonna look at Moderna calls here. Probably like 120s, 115s, 120s. They can push to 115 easy here. I'll look at that. Let's see what happens. Oh my God, look at this candle here. And look where we are, right at the support of that candle. So I'll look at some calls here for Moderna. I just gotta remind myself tomorrow. Okay. Any questions so far? All right, well, here's your profiles on TPO, right? So if you guys look, you had a lowercase b on TPO, which is kind of opposite what you had on volume, right? So if you look at volume, you had a triple distribution. Here, you also had a distribution, which is in comparison okay, right? You spent some time here, you spent some volume. A lot of volume spent here, not as much time spent there because it was mainly spent here on the bottom. So the value area low is somewhere 43.70. No, I'm sorry, the value area lows here. I should have changed the colors. 43.66. So if you lose that 43.66, which would match losing that 75, of course, you're really setting up below this volume node here, and you really would start a massive pullback all the way. What is this? 43.33 would be the area. You have some, POCs around this area right here at 42. And I think at 42, if Dumpsty, if you have it up, I think we have a positive delta there. We can check here in a second. I think
I
I'm
just
pretty
posted
sure.
it.
And let me check. On ES or?
Thank you.
Yeah. So now if you look at this 43, 42, let me go over here. So it looks like we have some massive, I gotta change the damn colors. I mean, we are holding right below this shelf here. So losing the shelf really opens it up below 90. If you lose 90, it becomes really disgusting here. You have a chance to dump 66, which is the value area low on TPOs. And then below that, we do have a level here, massive at 35 to, I guess, almost 40 here, 38.5. But then again, the biggest level that we have happens to be where
15.
it's not changing. 15. Dude, that's massive. Dude, 17,000 contracts, 28,000 contracts at 30. This is a big, big shelf here. And actually, I would say from Delta perspective, it looked fairly bearish here. Unless you're able to clean this up tomorrow. I mean, we're not far from it. If you're able to clean up this, most likely you're on to 4,410 here. And the biggest delta strikes at 4,500. So it could be a trap, nice trap. If you reclaim this, let me just look at this profile here. Wow. Well, I guess he was selling everything he has here, right? Holy shit. Somebody really offloaded here. Wow. That is massive. Failed auction, completed here. So if they're able to crack this from Delta perspective and footprints, if they're able to crack 43.96, most likely they run it to, I would say, 44.12, 44.10. They would have a completed auction stall at 04 and then 44.10. Not a bad spot. Take a potential long here overnight. And pray that you wake up before 8:30 Eastern. Man, look at this here, guys. I don't know if you guys can see, but do you see this? This is pretty massive imbalance here. So it doesn't count the 3 because there's 5 of them. Is this how it's fucking programmed? It doesn't even count the 5. Is anyone getting highlighting here on imbalance? No, why is it not doing it? Should be doing it.
I'd open a ticket.
Thanks, man. They're so they never responded to my request to have the TPO mirror on that profile. Like, why can't I have TPO here that I can run both? Okay. And then on daily, I think it looked a little odd when I looked at it. I mean, the volume pumped, but the buying slowed down. So let's see. I mean, I say losing below this level, below this shelf, it really opens it up. You know, potentially all the way down to this, wherever this imbalance is. I wouldn't even trust that. I would be somewhere around here, 80s. But a lot more aggressive sellers at this point here in these levels than buyers. While, you know, when you zoom out, where are the buyers? They're sitting, they bought here. They're gonna be selling to the top, and you see the delta spiking up. So I think it's still a bracket for now, especially if you lose 75, the September value area low. This level here is just fucking massive. Wow. Yeah, this is huge, man. Do you have 35 as a big level? Wow, it's sticking out too. So 35 to about 34, big level on Delta. Now let's take a look at NQ.
Yeah, 35 stacked.
That big boy level. Oh man. You guys see what I see? Oh man, once they lose this here, guys, oh my god, it's just gonna flush. There's gonna be dip buyers right here. We're going back here. We're going 15.1. 15.190, right? Somewhere around this POC, 88 or so. 88, yep. Looks like a very bullish candle here, does it not? Look at the delta here, guys. Massive range from 15.1 to 200 points, 220, and negative delta. Looks promising. Just kidding. Be careful. And if we lose this level here, I would say right below this level, if you want to feel safe, somewhere as you enter below 269, you want to lose this volume node here. Once you lose this, it's just a flush. Don't be afraid to hold this on a mini one contract. From here to here, I think you can hold it and make a killing on it. Wow. 30 minutes. Oh, wow, look at that imbalance here. Definitely watch this one. So that imbalance on selling is here. And a lot of completed auctions here. All of them so far are completed. And you came here and what did you do? You completed both of them. So you're not finding much interest above this level right here, which is 15,302. So losing tonight below 282 sends it to 272 if somebody cares 10 points. Losing 269, man, it just opens up. Failed auction here, 2 completed auction, man, it's just a big move. They're anticipating a big move, I guess. And we gotta lose that. 280 to 270. I guess where I would be interested is really somewhere here. If it comes to that level of 188 for buying, might be a decent level to go long. I'll just zoom in on that so we can see what does it look like.
If they give us news and crash one of those massive downs, 188 is a good
I think so. I think they'll get
target.
a bounce, but 188 is a good target then, right? If you're able to catch this below 269, they'll have bounces here at 226 and this, but I think ultimately all the liquidity.
I'm talking about when they do one of those like 100-point drop things.
Yeah,
when
if they do
report
it
CPI,
pre-market, I think they will send it here.
Yeah, German CPI overnight.
Yeah, what, 2:30 a.m.?
2.
2, yeah. I won't be awake, but whoever's awake, if you lose 269, we're gonna be here in the morning. This is a big level here. Look at that. Huge level here to watch. This was from last night. This was your NQ. We are inside. We are holding on for value area high here. We're trying to build value higher, right? And if we crack over 294 from value perspective, you're probably going somewhere around, what is this, single prints here, or 327, but just a lot of poor structure above. And then losing this midpoint here, I would say you have a high chance of revisiting this single print at 243. Do you guys remember where we said, where's the buyers? Right, so the single print showed up here at 243. Most likely we're gonna come back and revisit that level, and that'd be a decent level for a bounce, technical bounce. Losing that, you're going to 218, and then you see that there's a node 197 all the way to 192, and that's kind of the area where the green delta was. And if you look here, this is, you're looking at this candle here and spiking all the way up, and then they started selling around, what is this? They started absorbing here at 11:30, and then massive selling here. Absorption happened. So in my eyes, this is absorption, but on a lot less volume. So if absorption was happening, I really would want to see more volume here, right? But the sell-off was pretty valid here on this giant candle here with volume that's much bigger than any volume, I guess, besides this here. And then they sold off nicely here. So, okay. Don't try to gamble too much and predict the move. You're gonna pay the price. You might be right once, but you might be wrong the next time. So I suggest you guys lay off on trading that. Cuban, that was directed towards you.
Thank you.
Any questions, anyone? I'm getting destroyed by a freaking mosquito that I killed.
Can you look at Tesla if you don't mind?
Shorty, random question. Does this delta work on SPY?
Yeah, it does. You can work on SPY as well if you have the right feed. Tesla, let's see, what is it doing? Tesla's right at the supply right now. Does everybody see it? It's right here, right? So if you look here, I'm just gonna include this candle here. Include this candle here. So look now. Otherwise. So this is your supply right now. You have a high volume node right here. Let's say this is a massive node here. And then if you're able to crack over that, somewhere around here, you have two. So, and it seems like they did not like it here much. But the volume is not really aggressive. So if they're able to hop over 260, they can visit 270. For any downside below 257 is pretty good. On bigger time frame, are you looking short or longer time frame?
Short.
Yeah, short time frame, I would say critical level is 256. They lose 256 there, you know, it's pretty much in the hole, and it's gonna visit 223 by year end. So that will happen quick. And then if you look at the weekly profiles, see what is it doing there. Oh yeah, but it's coming, yeah. It's coming to a critical point here. 260. I wouldn't really short it below unless it loses this POC here, previous week POC. Then they would have 80% rule in play, and it would most likely go to 250. So losing 260 is going to trigger potentially a sell-off all the way to 250. And then ultimately, they're going to tap this weekly POC here, and they have another one. This here just looks shady a little bit at 215 that they bounced so quick here. So these would be the levels that I hit before 260, 250, 232. You'll have some congestion right here, but so it's a lot of, you see shit price action here, but these would be the levels I'm watching.
Thank you.
Yeah, and it has a bunch of epochs, just so you know, if you're looking long term, it's not ready for long term. At least not for me. All of these levels have to be visited. I'd buy it at 160. The video coming down at all? Nope. What a perfect balance here. 84. Man, 180 is a big giant shelf. I don't know if you guys have it charted on Apple, but it's massive. Ah, there it goes. This is a massive shelf they have to get over. I mean, losing this 178, Apple goes down to 173 and 170. So it's a lot of stuff happening right now there. 180 is huge. If they pop over 180, guys, they're gonna go probably 190 very quickly. On Apple, just FYI. If you see them peeking over, they're pushing through Apple, so watch that. Okay. All right, guys. Well, that'd be it for me. I'm not gonna trade the morning till they settle it, and then I'll hop on and trade with you guys.
Thank you, Shorty.
All right,
Thank you.
don't do anything.
Thank you. Good night. Night, everyone.
Good night, guys.
All right, bye.
See ya.